Hey everyone, Alyssa here from English Active Listening. I'm so happy you're joining me today. Now, let's talk about a question I get asked all the time. Do you really need to speak English quickly to sound like a native speaker? Many of you tell me you feel like you speak too slowly, especially when you listen to native English speakers. You think that to sound natural and fluent, you just need to speed up. But I'm going to share a secret with you, something that might completely change how you think about speaking English. The truth is, native speakers don't actually talk fast. It's not about how quickly they speak. It's about something much more clever, something we call connected speech. So, what exactly is connected speech? Imagine you have a beautiful necklace, and each individual bead on that necklace is a word. When we talk, instead of saying each word as a separate, distinct bead, native speakers actually link them all together. It's like we're making one long, smooth chain of sound. This means words blend into each other, creating a really natural, continuous flow in our speech. When this blending happens, sometimes we might even drop certain sounds, or unexpectedly create new ones, all without thinking about it. This seamless blending is exactly why native speakers sound so natural and easy. And this is also why it can be a bit tricky for English learners to understand us sometimes, because your ears are expecting to hear separate, clear words. But instead, you're hearing these smoothly blended sounds. That's when we mistakenly think, oh, they're speaking too quickly. But in reality, they're just connecting their words. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, step by step. Trust me, learning this will not only help you sound much more like a native speaker, but it will also greatly improve your ability to understand everyday English conversations. Let's jump straight into some real-life examples that you can start noticing and even using today. Think about a very common question, one we ask all the time. What do you do? If you say each word clearly and separately, it sounds like, what do you do? While that's perfectly correct, it sounds a little stiff or unnatural in casual daily talk. But listen to what happens when native speakers say it. They connect it, making it sound like, what do you do? Did you hear that? What do you just blends into one quick sound? The actual speed of my speaking isn't really faster. It's the connection, that smooth blend, that makes it sound natural and quick to your ear. If you're not used to this, hearing, what do you do, can definitely make you pause and wonder, wait, what did they just say? But now you know the trick. Here's another great example. I am going to do some shopping. If you're speaking word by word, you might clearly say, I am going to. However, you'll almost never hear a native speaker say, I am going to. What you'll hear instead is, I'm gonna do some shopping. See how going to just becomes gonna? This is a classic example of connected speech. It makes the entire sentence flow much more smoothly and naturally. Sometimes you might even hear an even shorter version like, I'ma do some shopping, though that's less common in daily conversation. So the main idea here is that native speakers often shorten and blend those smaller, very common words to make their speech easier and more effortless for everyday talking. Let's break down some specific sound changes that happen when words connect. Take the common little word, the. While sometimes it's pronounced with a clear the sound, in fast, natural speech, it often sounds much more like duh. For instance, when asking, what's the weather today? People don't usually say, what's the weather today? It's more like, what's due weather today? It's simply easier to say that way, a natural shortcut. Another wonderful example is with phrases like, "Do you want to go for a walk?" If you say each word clearly and slowly, "Do you want to go for a walk?" it can sound a bit formal or like someone who is still carefully practicing their English pronunciation. But listen to how native speakers blend it. "Do you want to go for a walk?" This sounds significantly more natural and is very common. Now, let's revisit that interesting thing that happens with "what do you do?" When we say "what do," we have a T sound at the end of "what" and a D sound at the beginning of "do." When these two sounds come together, they very often create a new chin sound. So instead of "what do you do," we get "what do you do?" That chi sound seems to magically appear in the middle. This is another clever way to make speech much smoother, and it's a super common feature in how native speakers talk. Think about it in other phrases like, "What do you do for a living?" which naturally transforms into, "What do you do for a living?" To really make this clear, I'm going to read a full sentence out loud for you. First, I'll read it like someone who is carefully pronouncing every word, perhaps like a student learning English. Then I'll read it again, trying to sound much more like a native speaker. I want you to listen closely for the difference. The sentence is, "I am going to go out to Walmart. Do you need anything?" As a student, you might hear it like this. "I am going to go out to Walmart. Do you need anything?" Every word is separate and clear. Now, listen to it like a native speaker. "I'm going to go out to Walmart. Do you need anything?" Did you catch those changes? "I am going to" completely transformed into "I'm going to go." And I connected Walmart with do. "Walmart, do you need anything?" Notice how Walmart ends with a T sound and do begins with a D sound? That often creates a subtle ch sound that just blends the words smoothly. It's truly all about making those sounds connect effortlessly for easier, natural speaking. Here's another fascinating and incredibly common pattern in American English. When you have a letter T in the middle of a word, it often sounds like a soft D sound. This is a huge tip for sounding more natural. For example, the word letter. Most Americans don't say letter with a hard T. They say letter with that soft D sound. It's quicker and it makes the word flow much better. Think about the word city. While some accents might say city with a harder T, in American English, we almost always say city. Let me give you several more examples where this T sound changes into a D sound. Bottle becomes bottle. Butter becomes butter. Computer becomes computer. Daughter becomes daughter. 80 becomes 80. 40 becomes 40. Little becomes little. 30 becomes 30. You can truly hear how this T sound often changes to a D sound. Even for me, saying words like little or 30 with a hard T feels very unnatural now because I'm so used to using the D sound. But the good news is, with regular practice, this will become automatic for you too. You won't even have to think about it. It will just happen. So, why is understanding and practicing connected speech so incredibly important for your English journey? There are 3 main reasons why this skill will transform your language abilities. You'll speak more naturally. Your English will sound smoother, more fluent, and truly just like a native speaker, even if you're not speaking quickly. You'll understand native speakers much better. When you know how words connect and change, your listening comprehension will absolutely skyrocket. You'll stop wondering what that fast-talking native speaker just said. you'll sound more confident. When your speech flows easily and naturally, you'll naturally feel much more confident in your English abilities, and that makes all the difference. I really hope this video was super helpful for you today. Now, for your homework challenge, I want you to write down in the comments below any other words you can think of that have a T in the middle, but are pronounced with a D sound, just like the ones we talked about: 30, little, and so on. Feel free to do a quick search online if you need more examples, but please make sure you write something in the comments to actively practice what you've learned today. Your participation truly helps you remember these key patterns. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to English Active Listening for more fantastic tips and lessons to help you master English. I'll see you very soon.